This is Ray.
And this is Andy.
And this is FDS Local Sports.
How's it going, Ray?
Not too bad. How's it going, Andy?
Can't complain.
What locker room are we in tonight?
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
I really like it, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's pretty cozy.
This one is at least clean.
Very clean, and like most that we visit, completely empty.
Completely empty. Locker room clean out has taken place.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of locker room clean out, Andy, we went to the Maritime Bowl Championship this week.
That was quite the segue.
And
professional.
See what I did there?
Yep.
And we had two great teams playing in this game. We had the St. John Wanderers taking on the Moncton Mustangs, who took the season match 2-0. And they were hosting the championship where St. John was on the road.
Yep.
Why don't you kick off this game for us?
Well, I mean, we'll get into some of the haunting details of how this worked out. But I mean, it was a heck of a game. It was windy out, but nice and warm, pretty good conditions. And in the end, St. John came out on top on this one. And, I don't think either of us predicted that. No. But, and we'll get into the game a little bit in detail here, but some of the guys were telling us after just how incredibly haunting this was, just about how similar it was to last year. Last year, it was St. John who had an undefeated season and hosted the championship game, and Moncton came in and beat them. And I believe this year, where the roles are completely reversed, I think even a player told me, Ray, and I could be mistaken, so guys reach out in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong, but the score was even the same.
It was very close, yeah. It was a very close scenario from one year to the next, just opposite scripts.
So listen, I guess going undefeated is not a good thing in the MFL. So, and I don't think that's going to be a problem anymore with the up and coming Island Mariners as well as the Halifax team. So hopefully that doesn't happen again next year because apparently it's bad luck.
It is bad luck, and we've been told we've had a little goose egg of information this week that there's a possible fifth team that will be lining up for the Maritime Football League next year.
That'll be very exciting. That
would be very exciting. And there's always a possibility of a sixth, Team Fredericton, coming back to the MFL as well. So who knows? This team could be in growth mode, which would be fantastic.
Well, my vote is let's get them both. So if anybody's watching, let's get Fredericton back in there, because you know what 5 teams does, Ray? It introduces something that I do not like whatsoever. Do you know what that is?
More bye weeks.
The week 1 bye.
Yeah.
I just have a problem with that. So let's try to get it to 6. But you know what? If it's 5 for a season or 2, that's super exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So in this game, Ray, I mean, it comes down to Moncton just couldn't get it going offensively. Dan Comfort played a very gritty game. St. John was knocking on the door of the comfort zone the whole game. They were in there in the pocket, getting them moving around. Now, Dan Comfort's comfortable moving around. They have some designed rollouts to the left, to the right. Every once in a while he might miss a throw when he's on the run like that. But he was playing a tough, gritty game. And on this particular day, we weren't coming down with the ball. That's the best way that I can put it. The St. John Wanderers are a great team. Had to make a lot of plays out there to be able to hang with them, let alone beat them.
Yeah.
And there were too many plays left on the field. That's the most politically correct way that I can put it.
And they had a tough time running the ball.
Yeah.
St. John had those 2 linebackers up there, Rob Fox and Danny Oliver. They were getting into the backfield on most of the plays.
Yeah.
You've got a 3-man front in 10-man football. So when you got 4 guys rushing, some guy's going to get through.
Yeah, and they weren't always rushing either. So in our pregame interview with Wanderers coach J.J. Jowdry, he told us when we asked him how he was going to contain, Aubrey Ellis, arguably the league's most outstanding player, definitely the most outstanding running back, and he flat out told us, he said, listen, this guy excels when he bounces outside.
Yeah.
So they were selling out. They had those linebackers. They were practically playing, a 5-man front, those guys weren't always rushing, and they were selling out to keep him running up the middle, and it was effective. I mean, he busted out a few big runs, and he's a tough guy to go up the middle, but what St. John wanted to do was limit the big damaging runs that Aubrey Ellis can kill you with on the outside, and do everything they can to stuff him in the middle, and it worked out.
It worked out. But you know what? We got to talk about some big players here for St. John. And again, the quarterback played by John Galacki was unbelievable.
Outstanding.
This guy is a gamer. We had a great post-game interview with him where he talked about the fact he wanted to keep control of the ball, not give up control, because under 3 minutes, Andy, he's still running the ball as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, unbelievable.
John Galecki, you can tell, is only super comfortable when he's completely in control, and there's no better evidence of that than when he did his first interview ever, I believe, with us.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the guy was nervous, but he did amazing, and I think he's ready to do another one at some point.
Wait and see. There will be an announcement. He'll be on First Down Sports in the near future. Tyler Curnew was your offensive most valuable player of the game. Now, I have a special award for Tyler tonight. And that is, out of all the post-game interviews that we've done, he is dominating the results as far as most views on his interview. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that kid's doing, how he's sharing, whatever the case may be, but I think we need to hire that guy as a marketing director for First Down Sports Podcast, because he knows how to market videos.
Listen, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he'll put it right out there. He told us right to our faces. We announced the league awards, and he wasn't too happy that he wasn't that second all-star running back, and he wasn't shy about letting us know, and I'm sure he wasn't shy about letting everybody else know this video was out there. So that was great.
So good job, Tyler.
Great job.
And last but not least, Danny Oliver. He was your defensive most valuable player of the game. And again, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, Danny, you played a phenomenal football game. There's a couple other guys that could have definitely been mentioned here. Rob Fox and Alex McGarvey. Even Chris Freak had some big plays on defense as well. There was a lot of big plays on defense for the Wanderers that day.
All the Wanderers were showing up. And guys, full disclosure here, I mean, we were asked to pick the most outstanding offensive and defensive players of the game. And, we're from Moncton. We're in Moncton. And we have a stats guy keeping track of Moncton stats. We had no St. John stats. So Ray and I were out there on the sidelines watching the game, and unfortunately you guys were all showing up. We were noticing all of you, so it was really difficult to make that decision for sure.
Yeah, it was. Now, Andy, I just got to announce one little thing for you before we move on from the Mustangs, because I think the Mustangs have a big need they need to fill next year.
Okay.
I have a certain person that I know quite well, and he pointed out to me today that the Wanderers have won the 4 previous championships prior to last year's. Mm-hmm. He joined the Mustangs. The Mustangs won the championship. And then this year he couldn't play, and the Mustangs lost in the championship. So he thinks he's the X factor on why the Mustangs didn't win. And Coach Terrace, if you're watching this, Jamie Drysdale, you got to get out and recruit this guy.
Okay, right. Jamie Drysdale thinks very highly of himself.
Yeah, he definitely feels that the Mustangs missed him as a DB this year.
Right.
And that's why the Wanderers were able to put up 42 points.
This guy thinks he's Deion Sanders, I guess, huh? The LeBron James of the Moncton Mustangs.
If LeBron James, I mean, those words may have come out of his mouth, but I can't confirm or deny it.
Well, all I can say to Jamie Drysdale is show up next season, make the team, which I'm with a guy with this amount of confidence. How could he not? And prove it on the field, Jamie.
There you go.
That's all I got to say there. But again, great wrap up to the season. It didn't go the Mustangs' way, but we had a blast out there, and we look forward to covering the MFL next year and really ramping up the coverage. We're going to try to get to some of the other towns too, because we consider ourselves the official podcast of the Maritime Football League. And though we're located in Moncton, and though the Mustangs are our team, we try to stay unbiased, and we want to cover the entire league because all these guys are awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. That's your final Maritime Football League update for 2018.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Other than we'll have a couple of the guys on for an interview here or there. We already have 2 lined up. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
They're both quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they both played Saturday.
They both played Saturday. There you go.
You see if you can guess.
Let's get over some New Brunswick Senior League baseball,
Sure.
Andy, because we haven't updated the standings.
Not since Jeannie snuck onto the field.
Jeannie snuck in there.
Yep.
But a couple things have changed. Chatham is still out in the lead at 8-5. Moncton is snuck into second place at 7-5. The St. John is at 8-6, and Fredericton is still in the basement at 3-10. Now, this past weekend, the Moncton Fisher Cats had back-to-back games against the Fredericton Royals, and they went down to Fredericton on Saturday and lost this ball game 10-0.
Oof.
That's a big loss to a team that was 2-9 at the time.
Yeah, and a 10-0 loss. You're really hoping it gets over soon, right around the 7th inning.
It was. So they came back. They played in Moncton on Sunday, and Fredericton had the lead heading into the bottom of the 7th. They were winning this game 3-1, and your Moncton Fisher Cats put a little bit of a rally together in the rain and scored 3 runs in the 7th to win 4-3.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's gritty play. That's
gritty play. So that is that's what's gone on with the Fish Cats in the last couple of games, as well as the standings. Why don't you tell us, Andy, who the leaders are in the league so far?
In the league, absolutely. So the batting leaders at the top is Mike Washburn, who plays in Fredericton. So despite the fact that they have a poor record right now, this guy is on fire, batting 500 on the season.
500.
That's not easy. That reminds me back when I used to play baseball and I was about 12 years old, batting 750.
Listen, I play on the PS4 game, The Show. I have my own career going on there.
Yeah.
And I'm only batting 365 right now. So 500 is unbelievable.
Well, there's a pretty big drop off after 12. I think when I was 13, I was batting maybe 0.90. So anyways, next up, Steve Johnson of Moncton. We talked about Steve. Jeannie's guy, Steve. Don't get upset now.
I'm not going to make no pitch or catch comments. Pitch or catch
batting
comments.
441. And Jeff Watkins out of Chatham is batting 412. So there's some heavy hitters in this league. The pitching leader is Jason Jarvis. He's out of Chatham. He's pitched 37 innings already. This guy's an ace. And his ERA is .95.
Get out of here.
This guy's a machine. Yeah, this guy's a machine.
Wow.
Sean O'Toole out of St.
The Jays need to call this guy up.
Absolutely.
The Jays need to call this guy up. Let's go.
Let's get Jason Jarvis to Toronto. All right. Sean O'Toole of St. John, 15 innings pitched, ERA of 1.4, which is solid. And Sam Lund from Moncton, 24 innings pitched, ERA of 2.33, which is a solid ERA.
Beautiful.
So
that's big.
That just makes Jason Jarvis's ERA that much crazier. So.
The Fisher Cats' next 3 games, they play June 27th, which is this Wednesday night at home against Chatham at 7:30. And then on Canada Day, on Saturday, they play against Fredericton at 2 p.m. So come catch that before you head downtown for your fireworks. And on July 8th, they're also at home against Chatham starting at 7 p.m.
Right on. Get out to the field.
There's your MBS Baseball League standings.
Baseball update.
There you go. Now, Andy, we're going to break over to Jeannie again.
Okay.
She's got a special report for us.
Really?
And you're not going to believe where we're heading for this report.
Where are we going?
We're going to the Moncton Hospital.
Okay.
The Moncton Hospital.
I hope they just let her in and she doesn't have to sneak into this one.
I'm not going to give you the sneak yet, but let's go over to Jeannie and get that update right now.
Let's go.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Andy. The 4th annual NB Docs Cycling Against Cancer Ride kicked off on Monday. My docs, Dr. Paul Gooby and Dr. Mohammed Harb, rode in the rain from the Moncton Oncology Clinic to Sackville Memorial Hospital. The cyclists will continue on through the Miramichi, Fredericton, and back around to Moncton on Friday. If you're out and about, look out for the cyclists in this jersey. This event has raised over $180,000 for patients like me. Thank you for your support. Back to you, Ray. And Andy.
All right, Andy, that's our update from Jeannie.
Awesome.
I want to send out again, congratulations and great work by Dr. Harb and Dr. Gooby. These guys have been the driving force behind this bike ride for the New Brunswick doctors. They're raising a lot of money, and of course, it's a great cause, which is close to mine and Jeannie's hearts.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
All right.
Great.
There you go. Andy, we're going to get into a little bit more football here, or do you want to, let's get into some rugby before we do football.
Let's talk rugby. Remember last week we were mentioning that there was a player on the Black Tides that was going to be trying out for this Canadian team, which was going to play very soon against the U.S. Well, that game actually happened on Saturday, Canada versus the U.S. I'm really sorry the guy's name escapes me now, and we don't know if he actually was on the Canadian team or not, but this was a big deal in downtown Halifax. Now, this game was played at
Simon DeLatter. There you go.
Simon. Perfect. All right. So Simon, we weren't sure if he was on there or not. Is that potentially not the name, right?
I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
but it just came to my head. So
Simon, if you were
50-50 shot.
I don't know that it's 50-50. I think the percentages are probably lower. But anyway, let's keep going. So this took place downtown Halifax at a field called the Wanderers Ground, Ray, which is a relatively new field that is actually going to be the home of the future Canadian Premier Soccer League team that's going to be in the Halifax called the Halifax Wanderers.
Wow. Now,
we're familiar with the St. John Wanderers. So Halifax is going to have this professional soccer team that's going to be a new Canadian-wide league. I think 7 teams so far are confirmed. It's going to kick off next season. I think they want to have 10. Apparently, this rugby game was a big deal. There were rugby jerseys and lots of partying in downtown Halifax. If they're getting this excited about this rugby game, can you imagine if we actually get a CFL team?
Well, exactly. This stadium, which, let's just go on the record, they have a new stadium in downtown Halifax, which holds 6,000 people. Mm-hmm. And there's an article in the paper about how much traffic downtown Halifax had over this game. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you have 30,000 people in a stadium for a CFL game?
Well, good thing that the CFL stadium is likely not going to be downtown Halifax, but outside, because a 30,000 seat stadium downtown Halifax would be chaos.
Chaos.
Absolute chaos.
Chaos. There you go.
All right.
Awesome.
But anyway, sorry. Canada unfortunately fell to the U.S. in that game 42-17. But it was an exciting night for a lot of people. And if you did play and your name is Simon, well done.
Congratulations. All right. We moving on, Andy?
Let's go.
All right, let's keep going. We're going over to Football New Brunswick's under 16 and under 18 teams.
Okay.
This was their last exhibition games against Nova Scotia. They're preparing for their national championships. The UMB 16 team lost their game 12-0. So it was a pretty close game, but they lost this game, and now they're getting ready to head off to Guelph. Okay? Your under 18s went back-to-back wins against Nova Scotia, winning this game 21-7. That's a huge victory for New Brunswick. And now they're getting ready to head off to the Canada Cup, which is played out of Calgary this year.
Oh, wow.
Just a couple updates here for you, okay? There were 3 touchdowns in this game, obviously 21. Plays by Jonah Rawlings out of Leo Hayes High School, Nathan Treitz out of Harrison Tremble, and Oliver Burnett out of Fredericton High School.
Nice.
The O-line was led. The O-line played awesome all day, and it was led by a kid by the name of Bradley Peters, also out of Fredericton High School. There was 3 quarterbacks in this game. They're all, it's like a preseason game, so they all saw the field.
Yep.
Justin Vogels from Tantramar High, Jonah Rawlings out of Leo Hayes, and Alex Cassidy out of St. John High.
Nice.
So they all had a great day on the field as well. I've also been told to tell you that Ethan Stairs out of Fredericton High, Oliver Longpre, and Alex McDonald out of St. Max, they were your running backs in this game, and they all had great days running the football. And the defense, who was led by Nathan Clark from Leo Hayes and Will Russell, These guys had the pressure on the offense all day against Nova Scotia, and it helped Lucas Cormier and Daniel Bell pick up a couple interceptions in this game as well.
Nice.
So the under-18s are looking really good heading into the national competition. And again, that's taking place in Calgary in July. So one of the coaches on the team is our buddy Chris Hopkins. And Hoppy's going to make sure to keep us here at First Down Sports updated on what's going on with these kids.
Awesome. That sounds like a really fun trip, too, out to Calgary. So
Calgary's
good luck,
a great
guys.
spot. They're going to be playing at McMahon Stadium.
Oh, that'll
Which
be
is
a
fantastic.
blast. Nice.
That's your sports for the week, Andy.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap on the MFL season, but there's plenty of other local sports to talk about, and we will catch you next week.
Have a great week, everybody.